This video is on food and food dependence and food craving and how it is going to affect on health. So food dependence is a recognized illness on just like alcohol dependence and drug dependence, caffeine addiction, something like that. So it is food dependence also treatable disease with the help of psychologist, psychotherapist, or even you yourself can treat with that with your own effort. In any way, psychotherapist can help you if you have decided or if you have recognized you have some problem with your food addiction. So if you are a person that think, oh yes, oh what food addiction, I should go for the fast foods and junk foods, so eat some burgers and meat, cheese, and that type of person, this video is not for you, because first you should find and you should motivate to uh, get away from that your problem of food dependence, and you should know the problems, health issues related to food dependence. So it is known fact. But if you take the problematic food dependence countries, America, Canada, France, and many other developing countries also. And at the same time, some developed countries are there, like German, Japan. They don't have much of a food dependence problems. They have disposable income, but they don't have this junk food problem. If we go through the McDonald's restaurants, there are about 41 McDonald's restaurants per million population in USA, but it is just about 20 something or 13 something in Germany, maybe about 20 something, around some 20 in Japan. So it is less. That is their culture, their education level, and they are more curious people. And the German people are more curious people. They seek knowledge. They don't go by just the emotions on average. But the USA people and Canadian people, they don't know anything about these fast foods. They go for taste, and they go for these meat taste, sweet taste, or fried food taste, and the salt taste, so fructose taste. So they go for that, and for them this video is not going to helpful, unfortunately. So those who have decided, those who have found there's a problem with their food addiction, and this is going to be helpful to them. So the world, when the food is scarcity of foods, when there's no much of a fried foods, when there's no much of a meat available, and when there's no much of a sugar available, during World War II time, and we found there's a marked reduction in the health issues, obesity, truncal obesity, waist size, and also diabetes, type 2 diabetes in the world. After World War II, people got more disposable income, and so that they went into truncal obesity, and the belly, big bellies, big waist sizes, and those associated problems of type 2 diabetes, blood pressure elevations, and heart diseases, of course, and cancers. So those things raised after World War II because their disposable income they use for fast foods, and with the whenever there's introduction of soft drinks, something like colas and the various other soft drinks, they find a cheap way to they profit oriented, so they find there's a cheap way to get sugars into that, and they found the cheap corn fructose get from corn syrup, and that is they adding into their drinks. So soft drinks we started to get these things, and they started to get diabetes more and more. The research found it is parallel. Whenever the coke industry increased in the developing countries, their diabetes rate went parallel. And some specific studies have been done, and those studies found that when we get the additional serve size, there is a serving size of these Coca-Colas, and then the Pepsi and other soft drinks, and there's increased level of their diabetes level, there's increase of sugar increase, and the measurement of the sugar levels were high among them on average, which we measure by glycosylated hemoglobin levels, and they are more specific studies. In any way, we know that overall this food is a problem in the societies where they take more and more these junk foods, fast foods. So the fast foods that is freely available once we get the microwave, and now they can warm within seconds, so they can cook within seconds, so that they increase so in the world. And but now the recently trend is better. The trend is better because when I went through the McDonald's, for example, only McDonald's financial statement last 5 years, it's 2013, 2019. 2013, they had their income turnover was about 25 billion, and now 2019 it's going to be about 21 billion. So there's around 14% reduction over last 4 years, their turnover, their revenue from their fast foods. So more and more people understand that. So it vary with the country. German people, Japanese people understood it much more, but the American people and Canadian people, they don't, because the literacy rate is high, but the emotional intelligence level is lower among USA people and Canadians. We should understand that, because they go by their emotions. They crave for taste, and they don't know about there's a well-being, there's a thing called well-being, there's a thing called health. But more than the health, they want the daily satisfaction of taste buds. So this is what, since I am at the taste buds, it's better to know what is this happening. When we taste something, it's not only taste. The people get the variety of taste. I heard about 40 varieties, but we have only 5 taste things. But how it is that? It's a complex thing, because it's not only the tongue taste and the sensation, then the smell, all got together and form finer varieties of various tastes. So nerves all enter into the brain, and then there's a taste area in the brain, and that's going to find some specific varieties of various ranges of taste, and for various particular taste we can get addicted, because when we get the taste, that's going to secrete some dopamine, that is motivating hormone, dopamine. And dopamine in the brain is going to, when we get more and more of the such particular taste, when we find some taste is interesting, so people go for that. Something like McDonald's or Burger King's, those burgers, and the maybe Coca-Cola or Pepsi-Cola's taste. So then that particular taste, they fried McCafe or some this church meat or something like, they have different taste, and those tastes they're going to motivate your brain, and there's motivating hormone, motivating neurotransmitter or dopamine. And then that when it is when you get more and more of the same food, the dopamine receptors are going to reduce. Dopamine receptors are going into lower number than which was there. So then you need more of that taste to get the same feeling. So once you take one Coke, now it is not enough. You have to get more of the Coke. If you use one burger, that is not enough. You have to get 1.5 or 2, something like that. But you get the same feeling like earlier. That is called dependence. That is, you are on the track of addiction. You are on the track of addiction. If you feel you want to get more, because that you don't run by your mentality, your intelligence, your food requirement, but for satisfaction of the taste you are going on, so that your dopamine is receptors are lower number. Now you have to take more of those food or soft drinks or anything. So this is what is happening, and then over time, gradually more and more dopamine receptors are going down. So you have to take more and more, just like drug addiction, just like caffeine addiction, just like marijuana addiction. So this is also a variety of such addiction. So you can recognize that, because once you find you are more prone to get one particular food type, some sugar type, some taste type, fried food type, then in addition to you are getting a meal, you know that you are fed with adequate amount of food, but you are satisfied. But if you feel that you are going for, or you are craving for particular type of taste, that means you are going into addiction into that one. So most of the taste that go into addiction are salt taste, sweet taste, and the fried food tastes, that meat taste and some fried food taste, and those are more addictive, so that you are going into them. So if you get a typical hamburger and you get a Coca-Cola with that or Pepsi-Cola with that, so then those are the very good foods that contain all those. They are fried foods. And then there is Coke, and it has a lot of this corn fructose sugar, corn syrup sugar. That is cheaper way of them to add sugar into it's the most dangerous type of sugars. And the salt, that salt taste you don't get in Cokes, but they add a lot of salts, but the salt taste is not there because they add more of corn syrup into that. That corn syrup, fructose, it's then unhealthy type of sugar leading to diabetes, and that is going to mask, that is going to hide the taste of salt. But if you go through their ingredients, you can find the salt level is higher. So that is very unhealthy. You don't want to get too much salt. You don't want to get refined sugars that much. So it is not foods really. They are your addictive factors. You get in addiction into those to salt, and they add that for you to get addiction. So once you get addiction, they get more and more money out from you because you are craving for those tastes. So that is what they don't want to nourish you. Those companies doesn't want to nourish you. Don't misunderstand. They don't think they want to nourish from you. They don't want to nourish you. They want to nourish from you, from your hard works, from your earnings, from your debts. They want to nourish. That's what's happening. So once you have to decide first. Once you decide that you are craving for certain foods and it's not healthy for you, write down what are the pros, what are the disadvantages, what are the advantages. You may find some advantages. You are going into socialization, you are going into taste, and you need not to tell people that I am not taking this, and there's a social dilemma. So to get into that, and also you find the problems with that. You get the big belly, you feel very anxious about your big belly, and you feel very anxious about your waist sizes. Those are also problems with you, and those are associated with some internal problems also, fatty liver, diabetes, blood pressure, and all those. But just think of if you don't want to avoid them because of thinking you are socially involved with people at the restaurant foods, and you are company with people. At the same time, those people will see your waist size, will see your belly size, will see your fat at the arms and all those. And you at the same time you feel stresses also. You feel anxious and you don't like that. So you have to think balance, and then you have to decide, and then you set up a goal. So if you are going for fast food restaurants, or sometimes per week, and you set up a goal to reduce that. Manageable goals. You can manage anything. You can manageable goals. Small goal. Smart. That is called smart goals. Specifically, you tell this within this period, this much of reduction. It is manageable. And if you cannot go for 5 to 3, you tell 5 to 4 per week. 5 times to 4 times per week. Like that, manageable. And like that, then you think of this. Go for that, do that. And whenever you feel you are healthier, when you feel you can do more works than earlier, you don't feel fatigued that much, and when you feel your waist size is getting reduced, your weight is getting down, and you feel more happier internally, you feel happier because you don't get that much of these oxidant products or free radicals which are causing your brain to the unhappy moods. You don't have these things, and you feel very lethargic, you feel very lazy, you feel sleepy with those radicals. You are not healthy. So, but if you write them in a diary, now how better you are, how better you feel mentally, how better you feel socially also, and write them down like a journal, and then you can step further and put into a next step to find the 4 times to 2 times now. So then practice that for another 3-4 weeks, and once you achieve, you increase into that. So that way, then you replace that with healthy foods. That now McDonald's has started to give some vegetables. They never had vegetables, they had only meat and these potatoes, fried potatoes. Now they have some. They had tomato sauce like thing, but now they so you but you are much better person to go for your foods from fruits and replace your meat consumption, your fried food consumption, sugar consumption with some good fruits, and like that you replace that thing and establish with your healthy food, and by that way you are going to nourish yourself. You are not going to nourish those company people. But that is there I said that 14% reduction, people are doing that, but you are not contributing, but others are doing that. In majority are doing that. The Coca-Cola business is also going down. Burger King business is also going down. And the you go see financial statement and see what I'm telling, and they are going down. So people, even the management was telling, I heard that Warren Buffett was telling, when he was asked about why these fast foods and soft drinks are going down, he said people's attitudes are changing. That's what they have detected. Sorry for them, but it's good for you. So you are going to nourish yourself, you are going to malnourish themselves. Thank you very much for watching this video. And if you like, you can subscribe. If you like, you can say like. And if you can comment also. So my message is, identify your problem, decide on that, set up a smart goal and follow that, and write down what you get and establish in that, and spread the message. Spread the message to your friends. Thank you very much for watching.